Super cool radio.
Hello, everyone. I am Matthew Thomas with the Super Cool Radio. My guests at this time are Gothic industrial synth pop duo known as In Veil.
Hello.
Thank you guys so much. And joining me, we have Hazy, Vale, and Addie. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for finding us and asking us to be on your show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, actually through a mutual friend, Apricity, also out of Canada. So shout out to her for making this interview possible.
Yeah, shout out to Apricity. She's very, very cool. Definitely has good things going on too. So I'm excited for her career.
Yeah, I've heard she's working on a new single, and I'm really looking forward to it. I really liked her debut one, All My Lies.
Yeah, same.
Love it, yeah.
So I want to start this off. It's slightly challenging question, but I like to come out swinging. So if you guys can only listen to one artist's whole discography, who would you go with?
Well, for me, it would be Pink Floyd by far, and Roger Waters to top it all off.
Nice, good choice.
I think for me it would probably just be Typo Negative because him and I met at a Typo Negative cover band, and it definitely inspired a lot of our musical tastes and the way that we write together. So
very cool, actually. Yeah, Typo Negative, like really good too. Like very underrated.
Yeah, and Addie's totally got the Peter Steele thing going on, so that's how he won my heart.
Yeah, with a little bit of baritone.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on. And focusing on you guys, I'm talking with In Veil. How did you guys get started as musicians?
Do you want to go first?
Or I can go first.
Okay.
I started when I was 14, got my first guitar, fell in love with music, bands like Queen, Pink Floyd, and just started to teach myself how to play guitar, started writing horrible music at first, not having any training originally, but then I got so deep into it that, started working on many musical projects. And I think this is the culmination of all my life endeavors musically.
For me, I started making music when I was around 6. I joined a competitive children's choir. We actually sang in front of the Queen and stuff like that, so it was a pretty big deal. And then I went to an art high school called Cardinal Carter Academy for the Arts, where I majored in vocals, and I did all of music theory and was very much going down a classical direction. But then I kind of just fell in love with much more alternative types of music. It's a good way to cathartically kind of get out all of my frustrations with the world. And then I did a lot of independent stuff on my own for a few years, and then Addie and I met, and then we started In Veil together, and that's been my main musical focus since.
Yeah, that's really cool, especially performing for the Queen. That's very unique, very different.
Yes, I did.
That impressed me a lot as well.
All right, so as you guys said, you met a Typo Negative cover band. So did you start the relationship first, or were you focusing on music for your band?
We started our relationship. We fell for each other pretty quickly, and that's how it happened. But both of us had musical background, and that was always an important part of our relationship, and that was always on the table. And I think we started working on stuff just a couple of months.
Yeah, a couple months in, because he actually had to kind of convince me to work with him, because at the time I was doing a lot more alternative R&B type stuff. And I was working with another producer at the time. And so when I heard metal, I was like, I mean, I like metal. I really like funk metal and I like Gothic metal, but I never got into metal, which he's like a complete like, or at least was like a purist and everything. So it was definitely like an interesting clashing of worlds. So Invil is kind of like the slightly more purist metal style riffing, but like then with my more like funky R&B input. So
Yeah, you guys are definitely, alternative, I think, is a very good choice of words for you guys, because you guys throw like a lot of different. I mean, obviously you have like
yeah.
more like rock based songs, some songs like or more like pop gothic mix of songs. So you guys cover a wide variety.
That we do, yeah, and it definitely reflects our own personal interest because, yeah, like he definitely comes from the more like metal world, and he has his own metal band called My Frost, which is a doom metal band, and then he also worked on this other band called Antiqua, which is like chamber metal, and they're actually doing really well. So yeah, it was definitely total hybrid and crazy. So
Yeah, we went to do this project with kind of an alternative eye, so to speak. We were really wanting to do something a little different, but that really combined that pop energy that's catchy with something a little bit more industrial, more powerful. And diversity was also the name of the game. We kind of intentionally went on to write songs as different from each other as possible, but also have a consistent theme. So that's how we're going now. Actually, we're writing things that are even more diverse.
yeah, our next release is like super pop, but we did that in collaboration with I don't know if you've ever heard of the Birthday Massacre.
I've not no.
They're like a pretty big goth rock band from the 2000s, and their guitarist is like our good friend. And they've got like millions of views on YouTube and traveled all over the world, and they're full-time professional musicians. And he decided to step in with Invil because he really liked our sound. So this is our like hardcore collaboration with him, where he actually had some like input in composition and stuff. So we're excited to release it.
Yeah, he it's actually the second song that we worked with Michael Falcor for, but this one he had like full co-producing
Powers.
Yeah. And he really made it way better than
our other stuff. Yeah, it's a lot smoother.
So we're very excited to release that. Actually, the timelines have changed a little bit, so it's hard to pin things down 100% when it's going to happen, but it'll come soon.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've been digging all your guys' stuff. Actually, the first song I listened to was Lunatic, and I really enjoyed it. I liked how like the whole like creepy music video is all like mostly in black and white too.
Thank you, Matthew.
I really dug that.
Thank you. Yeah, that was something that we completely filmed by ourselves. Like it was, the beginning of COVID, and we were like, what the hell are we gonna do? And we had no money, so we just did it. Recently, we just did get like a grant from the government from Factor. So that's going to go towards our next music video. It's just that with all of the COVID restrictions and everything, it's making it so incredibly difficult to like get anything done. So we kind of have to keep our fingers crossed and see what happens. But
yeah, Prissy was telling me some of the stuff that's going on for you guys in Canada, and so I hope things improve for you guys soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Where are you actually?
South Bend, Indiana, United States.
Oh wow, so cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So not like terribly far, actually. Like,
yeah. No, not really.
That far, no.
But yeah, it's insane down here or up here for us. Like everything's closed, so it just makes it impossible.
Yeah, I heard like even like doing live streams are even like really restricted now as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and we haven't really tried that yet, but yeah, I've heard the same thing, which is just everyone's like scrambling to figure out what the heck to do. But
quite a few of our musician friends tried to do live streams, and even those got postponed. Because of restrictions.
Exactly.
It's a difficult time for all of us. We're hoping some hope is around the corner.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's all we have is hope. But even like in the United States, we're having problems with like Facebook was like not letting bands live stream for copyright reasons.
Yeah,
and, like,
even though it's our own music, which is kind of like bizarre.
Yeah.
But say la vie. I don't know.
Yes. Actually, so good. I just want to talk about Lunatic real quick. So, how was it working? You guys work with Sam Astraroth. Like, how was it working with him for that music video?
So Addie has worked with Sam Astraroth before with My Frost, and Sam has like a huge like local audience here in Toronto. He's pretty much our #1 black metal guy, and he came to me because he saw that I was getting more into like the rap metal stuff. Cause I love rap metal. Like some of my favorite bands are rap metal bands. Like, they're like Fishbone or Jane's Addiction. Like they do a little bit of rap metal here and there and whatever. But anyway, so he came to me because he's been trying to get more into the rap side of things because he's only been doing black metal, but he was like so afraid of how his fans would receive it. So I said to him, well, listen, man, I'll write you a rap and you can come and guest on In Veil. So he came over, he laid down to sing. He was great. We loved working with him. And it was the first time I ever heard him not doing black metal screams. So it was pretty cool. And when we released it, like his fan base completely lost their shit. Like they loved it because they never heard Sam like that. And they never heard Sam be so poppy. But it definitely worked. And a lot of people were like, oh, it's so Rob Zombie-esque. And like, that was a huge compliment for me because I love Rob Zombie. So yeah. So I think it helped him kind of like find a new niche that he's eventually going to go into. So I know he's going to pursue a bit more of the rap metal, which I'm excited for him. So
yeah. He definitely he nailed it. Like for like my first like experience with him as a musician for like that kind of element, like I think he did a really good job.
Yeah, no, he did.
And he's a great guy overall, just a great person, great guy to work with.
Very positive, yeah.
Yeah, he did the guest before on a previous release for my other band, For My Frost. And that also was very appreciated. So it's really great working with Sam.
Yeah, and if anyone hasn't checked out Lunatic and all the In Veil stuff, it's on YouTube. So if you haven't checked out, please do so. You're gonna like it's a trip. You guys are a trip to like watch all your stuff.
We are a trip. That's true.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
That's a nice compliment.
That's what we're hoping for. We want to kind of creep people out of it and also make them be like, "What did I just listen to?"
I've been to listen to some of your songs a few times. I'm like, wait, what are we saying here? Like, what are we doing? It's awesome. Like, I really enjoy it.
Oh, awesome! I'm so happy to hear that.
So you guys have, you obviously said you're working on a new collaboration for your next release. You've worked with Sam Astraroth for Lunatic. Like, who would be someone that if you could collaborate with on a song, who would it be?
Does like someone famous or someone like that we know?
Alive?
Anyone.
It has to be alive?
For like if you were going to work on a next single. So yes.
I don't know.
I would probably just say that I'd want to work with Michael again, but actually get him to be on the guitar because he's like a really fun guitar player. He's got like a very like gothic psychedelic vibe to his guitar style. You should really check out the Birthday Massacre because they're a really interesting band. Yeah, there's a reason as to why they're pseudo famous, at least in the goth world, which we're both from. So yeah. But
yeah, I would love to work with Michael if he's available. Again, things are very shifty right now because of COVID, right? For them, I know they had to cancel 2 world tours basically because of COVID. So I can imagine how that's been pretty hard on them.
Yeah, but they're signed, so they get like monthly salaries, so they're pretty okay. And also their fans like are all contributing to a Patreon, so they're doing okay. But they definitely did take a huge hit from this. So here's hoping for next year.
Yeah, I think a lot of musicians and everyone like in the entertainment business took a huge hit because of COVID. Yeah. It's hard. Like you can do live streams, as we kind of said, with like if you can, if between the restrictions and if the internet will let you, it's hard to even like do stuff like that.
Exactly. So, and it's just not the same as a live energy, right? So like before COVID, we only got 1 live show in.
Oh, really?
It was amazing. Like 200 people came and like it was good and it went really well, but we only got 1 show in, and then literally a week later COVID came to Toronto, and then that was it. So yeah, we got in swiftly, but barely made it.
Yeah, you got it in time. Hopefully you guys will be performing live again, hopefully when everything is obviously cleared up and safe, but at least you got 1. At least you broke
we got 1.
We got 1, yeah.
So you guys you're an independent band, not signed with a record label, correct?
Yeah, no, we're not signed.
So what are some like the advantages and challenges of like being an independent band?
So I would say that one of the advantages is that you can create whatever the heck you want. Like I know that if we were signed, I think a lot of the stuff that we make probably wouldn't be accepted just because it's so weird. Also, some of the things that I say in it are controversial. Because I'm opinionated AF, and there was just so much to like comment on because of, you know, all the crazy things you're hearing people talk about, like especially right now. And also just like the freedom of, you know, having whatever kind of imagery you want, and, you know, and just like the lack of like real expectation, like you can kind of just do it in your own time. And also like here in Canada, like there are quite a few resources for musicians in terms of making money. So like we were very fortunate to get like the grant that we got, because it's a very competitive thing, and we got it in our first time. So we're very thankful for that. However, the disadvantages are, because it is so, you're your own boss, it's sometimes hard to like stay on top of it, especially when you're not seeing a lot of like results. And also, you know, just like time and money. And luckily for us, we have our own home studio, so we do literally everything in our home. All of the instrumentals are done here. All of the tracking is done here. The only thing that we outsource really is the mixing and mastering. So we're lucky in that sense. But I know that for other independent musicians, that starts becoming tricky because recording is so expensive if you're outsourcing it. So, yeah. Do you have anything to say about that, or?
No, I personally prefer this more independent thing because it just gives you the flexibility of doing things the way you want. It's like owning a business, right? But a creative one. So basically, it gives you a lot of freedom, but it comes with a lot of responsibilities. If you don't do anything, nothing's going to happen. And you have to work for every little bit of the pie by yourself, right? You have to do all the business part, the media part, everything else besides the creative part, the recording part, the producing part, and everything else.
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I was just gonna say, like, I have been signed before. I was signed to a satellite little like firm or whatever called Manic Music Now, which was attached to Universal. And honestly, like once they signed me, like there wasn't a whole lot of help. Like you kind of get this impression that they're gonna, you know, pull out like the red carpet for you and they're gonna do all this stuff. But even when you're signed, like it's just not like that, you know? Even then, like only like the top 1% really gets anything. So like for me and for you, like we would love to be full-time musicians, but at the same time, we kind of know that it's not necessarily realistic, and we don't really make music because we want to be famous. We make music because this is just how we express ourselves, and it's fun. So, you know,
we can't help it.
We just can't stop.
No, yeah, I definitely feel you guys. The lot you guys talked about just right there, about how like because I do my own social media stuff, and I've between like doing schoolwork, family commitments, all that stuff, like I've been kind of lacking on the social media stuff, and it's like trying to focus on that and do everything. Especially like it frustrating, like if I forget to post them, it's like I forgot, like I dropped a new interview, I forgot to post about it, and I was like, that does not help me.
No worries. Not a problem. Like I'm in school for public relations right now. So I'm learning a lot more about like the behind the scenes stuff that goes into media and marketing and, public relations and everything. And it's a lot of work. Like it's a lot of work. And if you don't have like the know-how, it's like our Instagram account is like dead. Like there's like barely anything going on there. But then you go to our Facebook, it's a little bit more lively. And then our YouTube's a lot more lively. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to school for digital marketing, so kind of similar to.
Oh, cool! Very cool.
Trying to learn like all the stuff and all the tips and tricks of like how you're supposed to do all this stuff.
We're networking right now, so that's cool.
Yeah. There's just so much of just how it's just to try to get your stuff like just out there for it actually reaches people.
Yeah, exactly. And even that costs money because you have to like put money into the thing, and that's a lot.
Yeah, there's so much that goes on. But also, like as you said, with like being signed is like some record labels. I know like Chevelle is like in a huge lawsuit right now. They're like a label because like they owed like 10 years of like payments and stuff like that. So like it's insane like how much stuff like the record label can get away with too. Like when they do that.
Like even during COVID, like the amount of people who stopped even making music, like they completely disbanded, like in the metal world particularly, because they just weren't making any money. Like the record labels were taking all of the merch sales, taking all of the album sales, we're making them, fly around all over the place. And I don't know if you've ever been on tour, but being on tour sucks. It's like the worst. It's very exhausting, and you're expected to kind of just like dance, monkey dance. And then you're not even getting paid. So it's just,
Personally, I also think that the business model that most labels are pursuing right now is not really that sustainable, because I know they had to adapt because of the internet and everything else very quickly, but all these 360-degree deals where they basically kind of control everything and the artists don't really get a lot, puts most artists at a disadvantage, a very clear disadvantage. And fundamentally, they are the ones, the creative ones, right? They are the ones coming up with the idea and what people actually want to listen to. So it's things are changing even as we speak because of COVID, because of everything that's happening, because of a shift to online. Things are changing, and I know that the labels are suffering too. But I can really say I feel very sorry for some of them.
Yeah.
And I've never been signed myself, but I have a lot of friends that have, and I've heard a lot of stories. So we prefer it this way at the level we are at. So
Yeah. We're also like, we're not like teeny boppers. We're married. We have a child, and this is just the most comfortable way for us to go about it. And you can actually get so much done online. Like you can actually make like really good money as completely an independent online musician. We're not there yet, but like there's definitely plenty of examples out there where people really make it work. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with like, you can reach a huge fan base just being like online. Like I was surprised with me. Like I have like a good following in Canada for some, and I was just so surprised. It's like, wow, people in another country are actually paying attention to this. So like, it's cool.
That's awesome.
we were also very surprised to find that our music is mostly loved in countries like Mexico, for example, much more than the US or Canada, which was a very pleasant surprise. But
although when we've been on the radio, it's been in America and it's been in England. Like that's where it's actually been picked up for radio play. But yeah, just not Canada. Like the Canadian music scene is like, I don't want to say it's dead, but it's not super like active. And especially now that we don't have live shows, it's like, yeah, there's just nothing really going on right now.
yeah, we've been taking a hit this time around.
Yeah. But
It'll come back, and I hope it'll come back stronger, but it's going to take a while probably because most venues have perished,
yeah,
quite frankly. So
yeah,
Quite a few venues around. We're in my state and the surrounding states have really taken a hit. I know a lot have actually closed, unfortunately. With obviously the taxes don't go away, but if you can't, don't gather, then you're not making money, and then you still have the taxes to pay and all that. So
exactly. Yeah. And ours were holding on by a thread even before COVID, so it was really just not great.
Yeah, just the last thing that just pushed it over the edge. I mean, if something was going to happen, it happened last year.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was all at once too.
Exactly.
I always ask my guests this question. I'm always curious, and I'm actually really curious for you guys. What music have you guys been listening to this week?
So for me, I've been listening to a lot of like 90s alternative music. So I've been listening to like Jane's Addiction and like Rob Zombie. But then also I've been listening recently to this artist named like Dana Dentata. She's very like inspired by like DMX and Marilyn Manson. And she's like stripper, like hip hop metal chick. She's really cool. She actually used to be in our scene in Toronto, and then she moved to LA, and then actually got signed with Kanye West and Marilyn Manson. So she's like really making some big moves.
Wow.
And I think you might like her music. I think if you like our music, you probably like her music. Her music is a lot more rap, but it's really cool and really like sexy and How about you, Addie?
I've been listening to Gojira a lot actually lately, and what else? Actually, to some interesting Romanian black metal. Actually, a friend of mine. I'm originally from Transylvania, right?
Oh, really?
So yeah, so one of my good friends that used to have a pretty world famous black metal with folk elements, but something that goes really well in Europe. And I've just listened to their 2021 release, and I was really, really impressed. So that was.
What's the name of the band?
It's a Sur Austru.
Sur Austru.
Austru, yeah. It's some old Romanian BS, but it sounds really great, and I'm just so happy to hear that sound is getting so big and so good. Yeah, I mean, I'm a metalhead, right? So but I love a lot of other stuff. Like
Rammstein, he loves Rammstein.
Yeah, but Rammstein's always been pretty important for me in terms of sound mostly, but I love how they write.
Yeah, it's funny. I did an interview earlier today, and another person said Gojira, so I was like, "Wow, that's two for today."
I like Gojira too. They're really good.
They just released a very short EP, but the 3 of those songs, it's hard to not listen to. I just have them in my mind all the time. They're really, really good writers, especially when it comes to guitar riffs and stuff. They're really good.
Oh yeah, it's funny you mentioned.
And they're French.
Sorry, there's a bit of like an English-French thing here in Canada where we kind of like, so.
We're having fun.
Yeah, I got you. I interviewed a French Canadian band a while ago, so.
So you got the vibe, yeah.
Yeah, very French Canadian too, heavy accents. So
yeah,
I got you. Yeah, but it's funny you said Jane's Addiction too. I just started listening to their album Strays, and like I really enjoy that. That's actually, I think it's one of the more heavy albums. I think.
Yeah, you know what? I actually have never listened to it. The only Jane's Addiction albums I've listened to have been their first 2. Nothing Shocking, and then the second one, which I can't even remember the name of right now. But yeah.
Nothing Shocking.
Exactly. Yeah. I love 90s alt metal, like, so that's my world.
Yeah, I saw because Jane's Addiction started Lollapalooza here in Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
And I saw their lineup. I recently saw an old poster of their lineup, and it was Jane's Addiction, 9 Inch Nails, Body Count, and Rollins Band.
Yeah, that's an awesome show. I also really like Body Count. Like, they also, especially in the rap metal world, like, I really like those guys.
Yeah, talk shit, get shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and honestly, like, there's their institutionalized cover. I forget which album that's off. I think that's their Manslaughter. One of their like 2012 or 2014 releases. He says that he's trying to like going for like the whole thing like throughout the day. He's like, I just want to get my password to my email, and he can't get it. And I had that like same experience. So I started listening to the song again because like Facebook blocked me out. Like they locked me out of my account for some reason for like suspicious activity. So it said make a new password. So I made a new password. It said, cool, you have a new password. Change your password. I was like, what? I just changed it.
Yeah, I know. Technology.
That's how I started listening to Body Count again this week because I was like, I got to listen to some institutionalized.
Yeah. Freaking sick, yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. In Vale out of Canada. Hazy Vale and Addie, thank you guys so much. I do got one more thing before I let you guys go. So obviously it's a little bit iffy right now, especially for you guys. But what can we expect from In Vale for the rest of this year?
We're gonna release our first like EP, and we're definitely have like that single coming out soon. It's called Salome, so keep your eyes out for that. It's definitely different than a lot of the other things we've done, so this is very exciting. It's very high energy, like very dancey, funky, that kind of thing. So we're excited, and
we'll be launching a website, and we are hoping to be able to release a video for the new single as well. But a lot of that is up in the air right now because everything's been set up, but we can't really meet with anyone to produce it. So until we see better winds, that's kind of on hold for now. But hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be able to pull that off. And
definitely the audio is going to be released, and definitely the EP for sure. That's probably going to come out sometime this summer, so soon.
And now we're working on new material, which is going to be ongoing. So
yeah,
but probably next stuff will be in 2022.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to hearing you guys' new releases and the stuff you got upcoming. So everyone, please stream support and give a like, follow them. You guys are on Instagram and Facebook, and definitely subscribe to them on YouTube. Check out their awesome music and music videos because I really enjoy it. I know everyone else will.
Thank you so much, Matthew.
Thanks, Matthew.
Of course, for In Vale, I am Matthew Thomas with Super Cool Radio. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.
Thank you, and stay safe.